Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much to everybody that has subscribed. Honestly, it means the world to me. And I'm currently packing for my Africa trip as I go in a few days time. So I thought I will share what is actually in my camera bag. I'll apologise now if you hear a little bark in the background. My dog has been asleep all day. Well, both of them have been asleep all day, and as soon as I start the video, they have both woke up. So I will apologise if you hear them. So I thought, well, I might as well start with my camera. I currently use OM systems and I use the OM1. I love this camera. I love it that much. I have two of them. And I used to be Canon and I used to use a 1DX Mark III with quite a lot of their lenses, and I sold everything and moved over to OM systems, and it was one of the best things I've ever done. I absolutely love my OM1 and I love the lenses and everything about them, and I'm really looking forward to putting them to test in the Serengeti. I just got the kit when I'd done South Africa and I'd literally had it 2 weeks. Again, some of my better pictures are with the OM1, but I wish I knew it as much as I do now. So I'm looking forward to what I capture this time, especially now I started to do some video, and it's going to be so cool. So as I say, I've got my two OM1s. On one of them will permanently be my 40-150 f2.8 Zuiko lens, which is the Olympus lenses. All the lenses are Olympus. So all I say Zuiko, if you're not sure on Olympus brands, and that means their lenses. So I'll be using the 40-150 with the ×2 teleconverter, which is the Zuiko ×2 MC20. I love this pair. This is my favourite lens, and it's so light. It's little, it's amazing. I've actually been featured in Amateur Photographer the magazine, and that is through this lens, and it's me talking about this lens and why I love it. And that is going to be one that's always going to be on the camera. My second lens that is more than likely going to be the lens that's on my camera just as much is my Zuiko 300mm prime. This lens is amazing. I used the Canon 600 prime and I couldn't even reach the end of it. I can lift this just like this. It weighs nothing and I go unnoticed, which to me, I'm out on my own a lot and I don't like people thinking, oh, what kit has she got? And people used to stare at me when I was out with a 600 lens and my 1DX Mark III. And I didn't feel safe. I go so unnoticed with this lens. So people sometimes think I'm just out with a hobby camera. And then they see the pictures once I've got talking to them. And they can't believe it. And I find this lens is actually better than the Canon 600 prime. And that's saying something. That is a lot of money. This isn't. And so this is going to be my next probably go-to lens. I pair this with the Zuiko MC14, which is the 1.4 teleconverter. That near enough always lives on it. So that means I'm shooting at 420mm, which in Canon terms is 840. I think my maths is right there. If not, I'll put it underneath the right one. It's double. I love it. The reach is unreal. Again, some of my favourite pictures have been with these two lenses. So they're the two that are mainly going to be on my bodies. That's my normal when I'm out and about. That is what I shoot with. I then am going to be taking my 100-400. I wasn't going to take this one with me, but we've paid for extra luggage on the light aircraft, and I have room for it, so I might as well take it. As I say, I don't use it much over here, but when I went to Alaska, this was my most used lens, and I actually really do love some of the photos. that I take with this one. And we've never been to the Serengeti. I don't know how well I'm going to manage with a fixed and a shorter lens, where this is versatile. So I can always pop this on if I need to. And I've got a bigger range. Then the next lens is my Zuiko 12 to 40 f2.8 lens. I mainly got this one for my dog photography, but I'm going to Serengeti. I want to have an acacia tree with a giraffe. I want to have more landscapey pictures with the animals in it. So I don't know if this is going to be too short, but I've got room. I'm bringing it. It's so little. It's tiny. So that is going to be the next lens in my kit. So that is my UIM Systems kit that is coming with me. I am then taking 2 power banks. I never leave the house when I'm photographing without these power banks. Well, one when I'm in this country. And I take my batteries, charger and a wire with me. Once I have 2 spare batteries, so once my batteries run out or getting low to about 30%, I swap the batteries round and I'm charging while I'm out. To be fair, I don't tend to need more than the 2 batteries per camera, but you never know. It's always good to be prepared. I used to plug my power bank straight into my OM1, and when I was on longer on the boat, a wave came over as my camera was charging, and my camera didn't work for 3 hours. I put it in my bag with which always lives in my bag, which is one of these silica packets that traps the moisture. I have these dotted about my bag, and it was a godsend in Lunga. I felt like it dried my camera out a lot quicker than it would have, and so this is a godsend. Anyone doesn't have these in your camera bag, pop them in. You get them in so many different packages, so you don't even have to buy them. Just keep them and pop them in your camera bag. That is one of my little favourite tips. Next up is my DJI Action 4. I love this camera. I got this when the new GoPro was announced. I was looking to get the new GoPro, and I'd done so many reviews on this, and everything I loved about it was the battery didn't die, it didn't burn out, it lasted longer, which I knew I was going to Africa when I bought this, and I wanted to be able to capture as much as I can. So when you see me on any of my videos normally, I'm using my DJI Action 4. I will probably start using one of my OMs when I'm out and about a bit more, but I feel like this does a good enough job. So this is my main camera that's coming with me. I also have the DJI mics, which I'm currently using, and they are coming, which is in the charger point. I then also have the the DJI batteries. I then have my GoPro Black 7. This was my first GoPro. I loved it. This got me into action cameras, and it's so handy to use. You can just pop it out the car. You can do all sorts with them. And I've got all different adapters. So I've got my selfie sticks. I've got one that clips to the window. I've got one that'll attach to the bars. Another selfie stick. I've got one that'll attach to me. So they're all coming with me. So 2 action cameras. I'm going to have one facing one way when we're driving about, one facing the other. I'm going to try and capture every moment I can. So I'm well prepared here. Then for a night time when we're in our tent, I have also got a camera trap. I used to use this at my old house because we used to have really cool wildlife that used to come in the garden. So I bought a few of these, and I thought, I'm going to hear all sorts of animals walking past the tent on a night, and I want to see what it is. I think I'll be able to tell if it's a lion or a hyena from the noises, but it'd be so cool to have footage of them actually being in the tent. So this is coming with me. And then I am taking my Rode microphone that I use for my OM1. I not 100% sure which one this is. I've had it quite a few years. My husband bought it for me for Christmas one year, and I wasn't into video then, but he knows me sometimes better than I know myself and knew that I would probably get into video, so bought me this, and I've started using it the last few months, and it just picks up the sound of the animals really cool. So this is coming with me because I'm really hoping for good lion noises, hyena noises, even zebras. I love the noises that zebra make. So this is going to pick up the African noises. So next is memory cards. I have got a 256 and a 128 in both cameras. So I've never filled them. I never doubt I will fill them. But it's always best to be prepared. So I've got a couple more memory cards in here as well. Then with the memory cards, I'm taking my Apple MacBook, and it's my Apple MacBook Pro. It's so every night when I get back to the tent, I can upload my pictures for the day. I've got my 2 hard drives with me. I'm tempted to take 3. I know my luck. I break hard drives like nothing. I've got so many hard drives that are broke. So the more that I take, the less the chance I've got of coming home without any photos. So 2's definitely coming if I can get 1 clear, because I've got a few more pictures I need to edit before then, and then I'll take 3. I've also got my Apple iPad, which is coming with me. That is mainly so I can do my DJI footage. I like it to go onto my iPad and then I transfer it over to my Mac. It just makes life so much simpler. I can leave it doing it while I'm doing other stuff. And one of the main things I need for this trip is a lot of cleaning stuff. So I've got the little puffer, I've got cloths, cleaning wipes, little brush. It's going to be dusty, and I know it's going to be dusty. So I'm going to make sure I have to keep cleaning my lenses. I don't want them scratched for one, but I don't want it to spoil the pictures from being covered in dust. So they're going to be cleaned every half hour, near enough. So I'm prepared for it to be cleaned. I've got my typical power battery chargers. I've got a socket. It's supposed to be a 3-prong British plug in the cars. We don't have any charging sockets in the tents, so a lot of our charging is going to be while we're out and about, which is why I'm taking the 2 power banks. And this one, it's a travel adapter, but you can still use it as a normal plug, and then it has 4 USB ends, so I can charge 5 things at once while I'm in the car, and it's just going to save so much time and effort. So that is coming with me. I have then got my binoculars. These are just cheap binoculars from Amazon. I tend not to really use them, but I felt like when we're in South Africa, I could have done with some occasionally. And we've actually got the driver to ourselves this time. So I've done a list of what I want to see, and we'll be having our lunch out in the bush on safari. So I've got binoculars. I can sit and have a look at my binoculars while I'm having my lunch and see if we spot anything. I have then also got my 2 books. One is The Animals of Serengeti and one is Birds of Serengeti. I have been using these for the last 5 months, I'd say, to do so much research on what we're going to see. I've then planned my shots around this. So what I want to get when we're there. I said, we've got our own driver. I can ask him to swap angles for the light. I can do some backlit. I can do some rim lighting. As long as it works, but I've planned out so many shots through these books. I've then got my little green book. This is a godsend. This has been to South Africa and Alaska. When I'm out and about, I will write in what I see in order of seeing it. So when I come back to my photo editing, it's easy enough. I tend to know what they are now, but it just helps to ID stuff, especially with some of the little birds. that you're not used to seeing. If the driver knows, it can go in. It saves some effort later on. I've also got my journal that I will be writing every night. I love writing a journal in Africa. It's just, I still read the one I've done in South Africa now, and it takes you back to that moment. When I read it, I can smell Africa. I can hear the noises. I can feel the heat. It's unreal. So this is going to be the same. My safari journal. Whilst I was looking for my new safari journal, I came across the Serengeti Mammal and Bird Checklist book. When you open the page, it has every animal you can think that's in the Serengeti. But then it has like lion, date scene, location, notes. I'll take a picture of this up close so you can actually see it. But it just helps to keep their memories. I love memories. It's all you're going to have is stuff. So it's worth making the most and making the time and doing it while you're there. And then we've also got my camera straps. This is my original dual camera strap, which is Vanguard. And it carries both cameras. But we're going to be in a Jeep a lot, so I don't know how much I'm going to actually use this one. So I will more than likely be using my Peak Design strap for one of the cameras. So when I thought I needed another camera strap, I dug out my OM Systems one. I don't hardly use this one. I say I normally use a dual camera, but this is going to come with me. What else haven't I mentioned? And then lastly, one of the main things I take with me everywhere I go, this lives in my camera bag. You never know what's going to happen with your phone battery. So I have a torch because it's going to be dark. We're literally going to be leaving the tent when it's dark with a Maasai. He's going to be leading us to dinner. He's going to lead us to the car. He's going to lead us back from the car. And it's going to be dark. We're in the middle of the Serengeti. There could be a lion there. This will help me see it. I don't know what I'd do if I seen a lion with my torch, but I'd be able to see it before it ate me. So this is always good to have in your bag. I do Bempton a lot, and I like to do Bempton Cliffs when the sun's coming up, so I get there when it's dark. So it's a godsend. And that is it for what I'm taking to Africa with me. Luckily, we've paid for extra luggage space, so I can take all this and clothes. And it's literally days away now. So this is now going to go into my bag. And I will see you from the Serengeti. See you soon.